Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to understand DNS with the help of dig command and Wireshark. So what we'll do is if you remember in the first video, we have discussed how DNS works. So this is the way DNS works. So requesting host will first request local DNS server. A local DNS server will then hit the root DNS server. It will get some reply. It will then hit the TLD DNS server. It will get some reply from TLD DNS server. And finally, the seventh step, it will get back the actual IP address of whatever host name that it wants. And then it will reply back in the eighth step to the requesting host that what is the host name. For example here, csc.nyu.edu, right? So this is the exact steps. So we will again see these steps with the help of dig command, and also side by side, we will also see all the packets flowing on the Wireshark that are used for a DNS communication. So let's first look at what dig command is. And this is very important command actually used for troubleshooting DNS, and also whenever you want to query some DNS server, so you can use this. So from the man page of dig command, you can see dig stands for domain information grouper. It is a flexible tool for integrating DNS name servers, and it performs DNS lookups and displays the answer that are returned from the name server that were queried. And we have seen this in the last video. So this is the third part of DNS series. In the second part, we have used dig command, and we have seen that we are able to query the DNS servers with the help of dig command. And many system admins do use this dig command for querying the DNS server and also for troubleshooting DNS. Also, we can look at a simple usage of dig command. So dig @server. So which DNS server you want to hit. Name is basically for it can be domain name maybe google.com, or any website name or google.com. So these are the name here. And type is basically which type of records you want. Like you want a record, you want NS record, you want MX record, or you want maybe CNAME record. So that you can mention in type. And we have seen all these examples in the last video again. But in this video, I want to talk about one of the important, I will say, options that you can provide to dig command. So that's dig plus trace. And this is very useful actually, as we will see later. And see, what is the use of dig? So in this, if you see, it's written when tracing is enabled. So when you enable this tracing, dig makes iterative queries to resolve the name being looked up. So if you remember here, if you see, we have the requesting host. And if you see the first, the first query here is the kind of recursive query. It's a recursive in the sense that once you make this first query local DNS server, now local DNS is the job of local DNS servers to find out the answer. So it's a kind of recursive query here. And then local DNS server is doing a lot of, I will say, iterative queries. Like this is iterative. 2 and 3 are iterative here. Like it is asking for something, it is getting that. But here requesting host is not getting it, it's waiting still now. Now, again, this is again iterative. Fourth and fifth step are again iterative. So it is asking for a query to TLD, it is replying in fifth one. Again, the next one is 6th and 7th is again iterative. But this 1 and 8, if you see, these are recursive steps, and all other steps are iterative here. But what this dig plus trace does is, in this case, all the queries will be iterative. So what we'll do is now is that we will first, so this is the Wireshark here. Okay, this is the Wireshark. So we will of course start capturing packets here. So I will just click on this. Okay, so the packets are getting captured there. And on the command line, we will do is dig plus trace and then google.com. Okay, and by default it's a record. So now you will be able to see how DNS actually works. So as I told you, in the case here, like dig is acting as the same as your requesting browser. So again, we will go to this diagram. It's so requesting host, think of it as a dig here. So from your requesting host, this dig command is run, right? So think of that as requesting host itself. Now, if you see the first query, it's an iterative query here. So see here, there are multiple steps here. So we'll break down into multiple steps. So this is actually the first one. Let me highlight this one. Okay. In this, what has happened is, you see, we have got some answers. And of course, if you see, we have got in the first step, we have got the answers. Like we have got the root DNS servers at the answer. So m.rootservers.net, b.rootservers.net, and these are all our NS records. And okay, what NS records? Again, you can go to my last video and you will understand what NS records are. And these all are 13 root servers there. Okay. Now, one thing is very important here. What you should understand here, receive this much bytes from 192.168.0.1. So what is this IP address, right? This IP address is of my local DNS server. So first, what this dig plus trace did, this made a request to my local DNS server. right? This is the IP address. So this made a request to my local DNS server, and now it got a reply also from local DNS server. This is the reply actually. So this is the reply that it got from the local DNS server. And if you remember, what does local DNS server store? Local DNS server will always store the root DNS server's hostname and IP address. That's what I got here. Of course, IP address is not here, but that will be there. Of course, the dig command is not showing, but when we go to Wireshark, you can see that IP address is also there. Now see, now what it will do, this was the first iterative query. Now we got the like addresses like hostname of all this, root DNS server. Now let's go to the second step. Now you see in the second step what happened. So this is the second step. You see this all is the second step here. So what it did, it will select, so basically dig command will select one of these root DNS server, and that's what actually happens in, I mean, how DNS works. That's what I explained. So it will select one of these DNS servers, and if you see which one it has selected, you can see here l.rootservers.net. So the second query, so all the queries are iterative here. Do remember it. So first query was iterative. It made the one to local DNS server. It got the reply. Then it is making the second request to l.rootservers.net, and if you see, it has received some bytes, and this is the IP address of this l.rootservers.net, and you can see what reply it had got from l.rootservers.net. So that is basically one of the root server itself, right? So from one of the root server, what the dig command got reply is this one. So it has got, of course, NS records, and in these NS records, the host names of TLD servers are there. So example a.gtld, and this is for .com TLD, right? For .com TLD, these are around 13 domain name servers here. That's what we have got from a root DNS server. Now, of course, we will go to the next step. So now we have got the IP address of TLD DNS server. So this dig command in the next step, if you see here, let me go more down. Here, I am not looking at the extra NS E3 and all of this. I'm just looking at NS records here. And if you see in the third step, again, it to whom it has made the query, it has the dig command has made query to f.gtld servers.net. Again, this is from one of these TLD, like it will be here, like f will be here. This is the one. So this it has made the query. This is the IP address port number 53 that you can see here. And then, of course, from what reply it had got from this TLD server, so it will of course get the names, host names of authoritative DNS server, and also their IP address also, but that's not shown in this dig command. And you can see here, right, google.com, this is the domain, and this NS record, and this is the authoritative DNS server host name. Then moving back to the fourth step. So if you remember, like there are 4 steps, right? First, it will hit the root, sorry, first our browser, it will hit the local DNS server. After that, local will hit root, TLD, and authoritative. So there are 4 steps, 4 requests here, and 4 replies also here. But in that case, if you remember, in this case, I mean, 1 and 8 was recursive, others were iterative. Here, all are iterative. Like when we make a request, we directly get the reply from that. Now, of course, we got the reply. At the last, if you see, this is the last one in just 2 lines, received 59 bytes from ns1.google.com. So it selected ns1google.com from this list, and then it hit this authoritative name server, and it got the reply for google.com, a record. This is IP address for this. So see, with the help of dig plus trace, you can easily debug DNS actually. So what steps it is taking to resolve the query for, like resolve this query. So that's very important command actually. And also you can run many other commands, like you can do the same with the NS record. So what we have done is for a record here, like we were making a query for a record, but you can also do for NS record, CNAME, MX record, and see what is coming in dig plus trace. Like it will show you like how it is doing that using iterative queries. Now let's go to Wireshark and see, like we will basically look at see, using this command what we have done here with the help of dig command. And we know that from here that it has hit, if you see, it has hit 4 servers, right? In the first place, it hit the local DNS server. In the second step, it hit the root DNS server. In the third, the TLD, and the fourth authoritative. So we will see the Wireshark itself, what request went and what reply we got. Okay, that we will see in Wireshark. So first, what I will do is I will take this root DNS server. We will see what reply we got from root DNS server. So if you see here in the filter itself, I have done ip.addr equal to 199.783.42. So this was the IP address of the root DNS server. Now see at the, we will look at the query, what exactly query went to this root DNS server from the dig command, and what reply dig command got from this root DNS server. See this, you can see easily here, like if you see here Ethernet, so MAC address will be there. If you see the IPv4, right, here source IP is basically my IP address, and destination is basically, if you see, this is destination IP address, right? So that will be the IP address of the root DNS server, that is 192.168.3.42. And if you see, this is using user data UDP it is using, so that's also important. So the query which the dig command is making, it is using the UDP protocol for it. Port some random port number on client side or on the dig command side, but destination port will be 53 because 53 is used for communication. Now this is important. Domain is extra query. What is the query here? You can see here, like some flags, as I've told in the previous video, like the exact DNS message format. First 12 bytes is for some flags and all of these. What is the number of questions? How many answer errors are there? How many authorities are there? How many additional errors are there? And if you're not understanding this, do watch my previous video in which I have discussed about DNS message format. And if you can see query, what is the query then? Query is google.com type a record. So tell me the type, what is the type a record for google.com? That is the query. And there can be additional records also. We will not look at, but the response is there in 646. This is the query. Let's look at the response. Response is big. Of course, again, you can see IPv4 address. Now it will reverse. Port numbers again will reverse because the reply is coming from the root DNS server. And you can see again, flags are there, no error. There is no error here. And again, UDP is used here. If you see again, in reply also, questions is 1, answer are 0, authorities are is 15, additional are is 27. And you can see the query again here, but you can see the answers. Answers mean authoritative name servers here that it has replied with. So all of these are TLD DNS servers for .com. That's what it has replied. And type NS, classes in, and all of these are there in, you can see exactly in the Wireshark also. The same we have seen with dig command, you can see here also. But if you remember, when we did dig plus trace, we didn't see this IP address, but that's there. That will be there. Dig command was not showing there in trace, but that's there if you see, right? For all of these host names, a.gtdld, type A record is there, and the IP address is there. And you can see for all the 13 TLD servers, their IP address, and similarly their IPv6 address is also there. Type 4A is there for IPv6 A record, and the IPv6 address is also here, right? You can see all of this here. Now what we will do is we will go here and we will see the same thing we will do for another one. This is for, like, you can look at all the others, but I'm just showing for like I'll show for 2 of them here. Then I will this is the one of the, if you see, this is one of the TLD, we have hit one of the TLD DNS server. So see, let's see what query and reply came from this. Again, you can see this is the query again. Query will be again same, query will be exactly same because again we are making the same query. Dig command is making the same query. Give me the A record for google.com. Let's look at the reply because the reply will be different. Questions is 1, answer errors are 0, authority errors are 8, additional errors are 9. Now, of course, you can see in authoritative name servers because, of course, TLD does not store the IP address of google.com. So it will tell us, okay, these all authoritative DNS server, NS1, NS2, NS3, NS4. This DNS servers will help you in finding the IP address of google.com. That's why these are NS records here. And like there are additional records also, if you see, are there like NSC3 and all of these. I'm not going to discuss all of these here. And in the additional records, you can see like for each of this, like hostname NS2, NS1, NS3, NS4, google.com, you can see their IPv6 address. Like these are in 4A is here, A record is also here. So IPv6 and IPv4 address are here. So that's what you can see here. We were not seeing this additional records using dig plus trace, but that will be there. Dig is not showing again. So you can see that also here. What we can do is we can also look for the last one, like this one will be very small itself. We can look at this. So now we are basically looking at the what query and reply we got from the authoritative DNS server. Okay, again, query will be again same. It will not change. So we'll not look into this. We'll look into this again. UDP is used and port number will be like 53 and all of these are same. But main thing is the again flags, questions, everything. But main thing is we are going to look into the answers. So the query was this. Here we got answer. See this answer google.com type a class in address we have got, right? We have got what is there in the A record, what is the IP address. That's what we have got when we hit the authoritative DNS server. So you see, with the help of like dig plus trace and Wireshark, we can, I mean, see, I'm again repeating this again and again, I will say, like I have already told you in the first video itself, like how DNS worked. Then you will think that why I am showing you this with the help of dig and Wireshark, because here you are actually seeing what's happening. In the theory, okay, I am telling you that, okay, this is how this is happening, but here you are actually able to see. So these are basically the packets that are flowing from my interface, my laptop network interface to the internet, and from internet to my network interface. So I can exactly see what's going on in this DNS queries and DNS responses with the help of Wireshark and dig command. So that's all for this video, and I hope this is the last. So basically, this is the last video of DNS, third and last video, and I hope you would have understood DNS a lot better. And like whenever you work on DNS in the future, so you will have good understanding of DNS concepts, like what is A record, what is NS record, what does all of these DNS server store, how DNS works, and which port number is used for DNS communication, which transport protocol, UDP or TCP is used for DNS. So all of this you will know like when you are once you are working with DNS. So that's all for this video. Thank you.